Today we're going to be doing an upper body workout using resistance bands. So if that sounds good to you, hit that like button for me to let me know you want more workouts like this where we're using bands to work out. So the first exercise we're going to do these together. We're going to start by working the bicep. Get that muscle started right away. So for the bicep, very important thing, you want to step in the middle of the band and step 1 foot out towards the front, okay? Now what that's going to do is it's going to put tension through the band at the bottom of the movement. So I want to make sure I'm leaned back enough where I have tension in that band even when my arms are straight, okay? So I'm going to take a large step forward and then lean back slightly so I can feel that band pulling me down. So from here, I'm going to bring the band with the handles up to the front of my shoulders and then back out to completely almost straight. So that lower part of the movement is actually the most important part of this exercise. So that straightening of the bicep. So if you need to, you might need to wrap the band once around your foot to get enough tension. That's okay. You want to make sure that there's tension at the bottom part of that movement though. So most important part is that there's tension. That's the one thing with bands that you can mess up, is if it goes slack, where you lose all that tension, you're not actually building the muscle you think, or you're not building the muscle in the most effective part of the movement. So, pulling up and then back out. That's something I messed up a lot with this exercise when I first started out. I anchor the band like this, where I'd lose all tension at the bottom of the movement. So now, bands can be a really effective way of building muscle, but you have to set them up correctly where you are getting good tension through the exercise. They've been shown to be just as effective as long as they are adjusted so they have the same amount of load as a dumbbell or a barbell weight. So now, we're going to work the tricep muscle in the back of the arm with an overhead tricep extension. For this, I'm going to step one, same foot, same hand. So I'm stepping on one end of the resistance band and then bring my hand right behind my head. From here, I'm going to straighten my elbow, pointing my hand up at the ceiling. Now I'm not grabbing the handle, I'm grabbing the fabric part of the band because it's a bit more comfortable to hang on to, and then pulling up to the ceiling. I should feel that right back here in the back of my arm, tensioning through that tricep, that big piece of muscle in the back of your arm. I'm trying to go all the way down to where my elbow is fully bent. Now it should feel tension all the way through that. If you don't feel like the band's pulling you all the way down, step a little bit higher onto the band so you have a little bit more tension. And same thing on the other side. With this, we are warming up the muscle. I like to start with a little bit lighter of a band for my first set to warm up the muscle to get blood flow into that muscle. And then I move to a heavier band that's going to be challenging later. So I'm trying to aim for being able to do somewhere around 10 reps with the band before being completely tired out or nearly tired out. But for this exercise, first I'm warming up the muscle Just like a car, you wouldn't want to start a car cold and then instantly just slam on the gas pedal. Same thing with this, you let your body warm up before you really go and do the intense exercises. So now we're going to do a lateral raise. So for this, there's a couple of ways to do this exercise. For this one, I like to do for this one, I like to attach it to a pole or something stable. And then I'm going to grab the band behind my back. From here, I'm gonna lift up. I'm gonna actually switch to a lighter band. I need a little bit less tension in this because I'm doubling up the band. So for a warm up, this is a little bit too heavy, so I'm gonna drop it down one notch. So this is a smaller muscle, so it doesn't take nearly as much to activate and get good tension through that muscle. So you're gonna have the band right behind your back. From here, lifting up to the side and then back down, all the way down to your side. Now, I like putting it behind your back because it stops me from being able to cheat by bringing the band forward where I'm using that anterior deltoid. I'm using much more of that middle deltoid by bringing my hand behind my back. So this is a great exercise variation to do for that middle deltoid right here in the side of your arm. If you want to work your shoulders, this is a great way of doing it. So the thing to watch out for is don't lift from your shoulder, from your traps up here, your shoulder neck area. It's all from down here in your shoulder. So lifting up to the side and then back down. And then same thing on the other direction. So you can see the band is right at my waist height or a little bit lower, right where if my hand's at my side, the band should be pulling straight across, lifting up to the side and back down. Now I'm trying to keep the same tension both sides. And doing about 10 each side. Just getting a warm up in that shoulder. So now I'm going to shift to a heavier band. And we're going to go into a working set. Now, a working set just means this is where we start counting the number of sets. So to grow a muscle, we need to repeat an exercise. The more often we repeat it, the faster that muscle grows. So, I'm gonna do a bicep curl. I'm gonna lean back till I feel that tension in my upper arm right in here. Pulling up to the front. I'm trying for about 12 reps. Good, I'm trying to keep good form through the entire range though. All the way out to straight and then back up. I'm leaning back away to help create that tension at the bottom of the movement. A lot of people think it's that going up that builds muscle, that sort of top of the movement. And for the biceps, it's probably more this bottom part of the movement that actually builds muscle. There has been studies done on lengthened partials, which are this part down here, just working in the bottom range, and found that it built muscle just as effectively as doing a full range of motion. So, if you're doing an exercise, especially for the long head of the tricep or the bicep, going that full range of motion where you're completely at the bottom of the movement. With this, I'm all the way down here by my shoulder. This is fine to go all the way up, but especially going all the way down to the bottom is really important for that muscle growth. So I'm trying to keep my elbow high and then my hand coming all the way down to really emphasize how much that muscle lengthens. And that is going to help it grow faster or grow more per workout. Now, it doesn't feel as good. You can really feel that high tension in the muscle, and that's okay as long as it's not causing you pain in your shoulder. A little discomfort is okay. Pain is an indicator that something's wrong. And the more you work out, the more you can tell the difference between those two. I used to ignore pain when I was working out, and I actually ended up ripping a bone in my knee doing that. So I would learn from my example on that. It's not a good thing to ignore pain. Discomfort is a little bit different. You might feel a little bit of an ache, a little bit of burning feeling, and that's okay. But if it becomes stinging or if it becomes a really intense ache, pay attention to that, because it might mean that something else is wrong. It might mean too that if it's a really intense ache, you might need to actually take a couple days off, let your body recover, and then try it again to see how it feels. Try that exercise. It might also mean that you have to work on technique on it where something is moving in a way that's not supposed to. Or for some people, some exercises are not good variations for how their body's put together. Some people have a little bit less space for the nerve in their shoulder. So doing something like an overhead lateral raise is just not comfortable in their shoulder because it pinches that nerve. So paying attention to those signals your body is sending you is a really important thing. So now going to a lateral raise. We're going to do a single arm behind the back lateral raise. So I'm stepping out until I feel that tension pulling me in, and then lifting up to the side, pulling. I'll do just a little bit more. Now make sure whatever you have it attached to is not going anywhere. So I like to use a pole or a door. These come with a door anchor to attach them into a door. So you just close the door on the door anchor. If you're looking for a set of bands like what I have affiliate links down below that help support the channel. They don't cost you any extra, but I do get a small commission from any purchases you make through those links. Now, if you don't want these bands specifically, but if you still want to support the channel, any purchase you make through those links will help support. So thank you so much if you're looking to do that. So now same thing other side. I'm gonna try and go just a little bit this way so the vertical stream can see me. Lifting up to the side. I'm trying to go straight out from my shoulder. Should feel that right here in the top of my shoulder. And now with this, because I have both pieces attached to one handle, I'm doubling up the resistance on it. So it's quite a bit more weight to do it that way. If you need to, you can always drop a band color if it's too intense at that given weight. Now we're going back to the first exercise because we're trying to build muscle. So to do that, we need to do high volume, which means repeating the same exercise. The more often we repeat that exercise per week, the faster that muscle grows and the bigger that muscle can grow. So I like to aim for 4 sets per workout for an exercise. So that means I repeat an exercise 4 times, and then I do 3 workouts a week. So that's a total of 12 sets of that exercise per week for a muscle I'm trying to grow. Now, I am thinking about actually increasing that number as my body's able to. So if I'm not too sore, I'm gonna try and increase that number of sets. I wanna always go till I'm challenged in that muscle. You want to be challenged, but not completely overwhelmed. So pick a weight and number of reps that are challenging, but not where you have to just sort of stop after you do that exercise. If you have to stop and just, that's the last thing you can do, it's too heavy of an exercise. I know for me, leg exercises tend to be pretty tough to regulate, to know how hard I should be going on those, because they are very exhausting for me. I think that's true for a lot of people. Legs tends to be a pretty tough exercise to go to overload with, because even so, if my arms are completely exhausted, it's okay. I just don't have to do any lifting for the day. But if my legs are completely exhausted, that's a little bit worse because I still have to walk around. I'm trying to keep it even on both sides, same number of reps. Whoa. That's feeling a little bit weird on my left shoulder. So this is the last week of my mesocycle. Now, if you don't know what that means, that's okay. That just means a period of time where we're increasing our reps or weight, where we're scaling up and up and up, and then we give the body a break to heal. And we scale up and up and up, we give the body a break to heal. So I'm right at that peak point of what's called, and I'm using The principles of what's called progressive overload, where I'm little by little increasing it over time. So I'm adding more and more reps as I go. And right now, I think I'm hitting a point where my body is telling me I need a break. So my joints kind of ache a little bit. I was feeling a little bit of discomfort in my shoulder doing that exercise because I think I've spent so much time scaling up. My body is hitting sort of a limit, a plateau on that, where I need to actually back off, give my body a week to heal, and then come back stronger. So next week, we're gonna be focusing in on stretching. If that sounds good to you, taking a down week, doing some stretching, working on mobility and flexibility, then hit that subscribe button. I host these streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And next week, we're gonna be focusing in on mobility and flexibility during a down week from weightlifting. So still a very important thing of muscle health and fitness is flexibility. And that's what I like to do is take a little bit of time to really focus in on that as I'm letting my body heal. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button for me to let me know you want more. You're looking forward to doing some flexibility mobility training. And 12. Whew. Same thing on the other side, and we'll close out with this today. Trying to go straight out to the side. And 12. Yeah, that left shoulder is not liking me today. So if you are wanting to be here live, so if you want to be here live, I host these live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time.